The latest information, really the only change to the advisory is the winds have come down from 145 to 140. Doesn't matter. It's still a very strong Category 4 storm. It is still stationary. And for me, that's the biggest takeaway because this storm is still sitting over Grand Bahama Island. It's been sitting there all day, and it has been sitting there since yesterday when it impacted Abacos, and now it's moving to the west ever so slowly, sitting stationary. If you can imagine, it's almost hard to believe the fact that a storm this powerful is not moving, Anderson.
How long, is it likely to stay over the Bahamas? Is there any way to know?
Well, it's definitely going to be there through the overnight hours tonight into tomorrow morning. We should finally start to pick up a little bit of forward speed by the time we get into tomorrow afternoon. Look at this loop, 6 hours of time that goes by, and you can see the center of the storm. It doesn't move at all. It's basically just staying on Grand Bahama Island. And the bad part about it is the strongest winds right there around that eye wall, as you know, Anderson, are the strongest winds, and they've been battering the island all day long.
So this is a dumb question, but why does a hurricane just stall over an island?
It's basically squeezed in between two areas of high pressure. There's no steering current for this storm to move. That should change, though, by the time we get into tomorrow. That's when the storm is expected to pick up a little bit of forward speed. Now, the storm is now located about 100 miles to the east of West Palm Beach. It's still very, very close to Florida, and that brush with Florida is what is so crucial because depending on how close this storm gets will depend on the impacts that Florida will see. You can already see those outer rain bands pushing on shore. When that happens, we'll get the heavier rains. We'll also get the stronger winds. But the closer this gets to Florida is going to determine how strong the winds will ultimately be, the storm surge as well as the rain. And you can see still a sliver of Florida within that cone of uncertainty. So they're really not completely out of the woods yet. Most of the models do carry it just offshore. But even then, with hurricane force winds extending 45 miles from the center, you're still going to possibly get hurricane force winds on shore, and we could still have a major hurricane Category 3 by the time Tuesday into Wednesday rolls around. And then keep in mind how vulnerable the coastline is in South Carolina and North Carolina, especially those outer banks where we could have a Category 2 situation on our hands by the time the storm rolls over there. And then also Charleston, any push of water in Charleston is going to mean a lot of devastation as far as storm surge and flooding. So the East Coast is definitely not out of the woods, even if this storm stays a little bit offshore.
Please pray for us. Nancy, please. Pray for us. Pray for Abigail, please. I'm begging you. My baby.
Sounds like a jet engine just roaring all night long. You don't really know what's happening. We've seen some videos that people have sent us of water in their homes, the water rising.
This is now my house. The water is up to my calf. This hole keep getting bigger in the roof.
Yeah, we need assistance fast. This going on right now.
This is our home.
As a physician, I've been trained to withstand many things, but never anything like this.